No, that'll do. That'll do the laugh. So you know, smart device like Alexa. You know, and you ask it the weather and stuff. I'm thinking of making something called a smart ask device. You know, so it's like Alexa. When you say Alexa, what's the weather today? It will say it is cloudy and raining, and you'd know that if you got off your arse and looked out the window. You prick. Average. Okay. I was just going to try and bring you onto a bit more than that, Jay Soma. But I've not. No one liked me. So that's all we've got. Do you like Joey Jack? Yeah. Okay. Right. Fuck you then. Jack, what was your? You were here last week, weren't you? Yeah. What was your name again? James. Jack and James. Will. Jack and James and Will. Cool. I just want you to come on to nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Doing a good job of that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I've been doing this so long now, and it's like it's my first time. Okay, cool. Is everyone ready for our next act?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound like it. Is everyone ready for your next act?
Yeah.
Yes! Now clap and get me off this fucking stage! Everyone please, welcome to the stage, Jay Soma!
Good evening, Christchurch. How are we? This is quite a good crowd for Wednesday night in January. I can only conclude the traitors has finished. That's been in the news, hasn't it? And Donald Trump's been in the news as well. And he has got rid of all the DEI, EDI, whatever, DEI people at the White House, hasn't he? The diversity people. Who thinks that's a good idea? Give me a cheer. Yeah, one. But I think, well, let's have a look at the diversity, speaking of diversity, of the crowd here. Give me a cheer if you're white British.
Yeah.
Give me a cheer if you're an Eskimo. Where are all the Eskimos? Huh? Where are they? Actually, I just remembered, somebody did say to me, you can't use the word Eskimo, Inuit. Inuit. Now I mention them because my dad is from the North Pole and my mum is from the South Pole. I am bipolar. Actually, I grew up in the town of Rugby where they invented the sport. So actually, I am tripolar. Now, some of you may be...
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Some of you may be offended by that joke because some of you may suffer from playing rugby. That's a new joke. That's not gone down too well. That's okay. I was worried I might get an icy reception. We'll tick that one off. So a bit more about me. I hit a milestone. I was 40 in June. Thank you. 2016. Sometimes I get a big cheer for that, which makes me feel good, and I think I don't look too much over 40, so that's good. I now identify as a non-binary, unless I live to 100. That's a joke for those of you who understand binary. Now, I'm out tonight, my wife is out tonight, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and we have gambled, we've not got any babysitters, okay? So my kids could be throwing a wild party. So when I get home, I could walk in on teenagers having sex. Here's hoping. You can imagine I'll go in trouble at work, can't you? Now we had to stop using our last babysitters. Well, they didn't like being called that. They prefer the term social services. Now I've been married 17 years and I enjoy watching porn with my wife. On my own, big thanks to her first husband for sending me the videos. She doesn't know, that's a new one. That's good. Tick that one, I think. Yes. I work from home quite a lot, 4 days out of 5 I work from home, and there are pros and there are cons of working from home. One of the biggest cons, and this is very frustrating, is when the Wi-Fi goes down. Now, if it was the wifey going down all the time, that would be very stress relieving. That would be good. Now I am looking for an upgrade because I need something that works less intermittently, better service around the house, and I will sort out the broadband as well. Now I mentioned my son. He started secondary school in September, and I asked him what he was studying, and he said to me, Jim Davidson. I said, Jim Davidson, the right-wing comedian? That's a very strange subject to be looking at, unless it's a school trying to make up for 30 years of cultural Marxism. I said, what have you looked at? He said, generational challenges. I said, generation? I said, you mean the Generation Game? It was a game show he presented on BBC One many years ago. I said, what else? He said, problems in the Middle East. I said, problems in the Middle East? I said, he was entertaining the troops in Iraq and Afghanistan. I said, what else? He said, the Torah. I said, no, he was known as the Tory because he was the only comedian daft enough to admit he voted Conservative. Then I thought to myself, did he say Jim Davidson or did he say Judaism? Luckily it was the latter, which I think is a bit of a relief. Now, before he started secondary school, and Gareth, you talked about I'm going to sit down and talk to your kids, I thought I'm going to have to sit down with him, because 11 is a funny age. It's a big thing starting secondary school. I'm going to have to have a chat with him, because he really does need to improve his knowledge of swearing. So I started with the basics. I said, okay, son, the words bollocks and shit, okay, they mean things are bad, okay, simple words. However, if you say something is the dog's bollocks, or shit hot, he said, really, really bad. I said, no, son, it means something really, really good. He said, confusing. I said, I know. I said, okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the daddy of all swear words, the C word. He said, I know this, cockwomble. I said, cockwomble? No, it's not. He said, I know, cunnilingus. I said, no, it's not cunnilingus. And how do you know that word? He said, I overheard you and Mummy talking. And word came up the other night. I said, no, son. I said, what you heard me say, your mum speaks French and German. I said, she was a cunning linguist. I think he swallowed it.
Yeah.
I said, no, you may have heard the C word. You may have heard the C word at a football match, okay? He said, I know, champione, champione. I said, no, and you're starting to act like one of these now, okay? And at that point, in walks my wife, his mum. He turns to her and says, Mum, you look shit hot, you look the dog's bollocks. Great, she glared at me, and she said, well, son, that's rude, but a compliment, I guess. I said, no, you silly cockwomble, talking over shit and bollocks. She said, Benjamin, mind your language. He said, mind my language. Dad says you're the cunning linguist, and I was giving him a mouthful. Always good when the cunning linguist jokes go down well. Took that one off. Now I've got two kids. My daughter's older, she's doing her GCSEs, and she had an event at her school that we had to go to the other day. It was a careers evening. So after we had various presentations, we sat down, we queued up, got 5 minutes with the careers advisor. She turned to my daughter and said, tell me Eddie, what occupation interests you? She said, the West Bank. Now I'm not saying all careers advisors are thick and failed teachers, but she said, do you mean financial services? Now this led me to thinking, if we have careers advisors giving out advice and they've not had much of a career themselves, that would be a bit like having a cabinet run the country when they've never run a business. Yeah. Like that one, Christchurch. I'll tell that one to Christopher Hope. Well, where have I got to? That was a new one. That wasn't too bad. I'll give that 2.5 out of 5. Now, I've just got back from some winter sun. It wasn't a proper holiday because I went with my wife and kids, sadly. But it was a cheap one. It was in term time, so I had to go to the school and tell them what I was doing. They said, Mr. Somer, you can take them out of school. We will just record it as an unauthorised absence. I said, fine. And they said, yes, we will. So I got that response to come. A friend said to me, Jay, are you not worried about the impact on the two kids' education? I said, 2 kids? Well, at 250, my wife's a teacher. Luckily, they've not noticed her mum's died twice abroad in the last 5 years. Apparently. But no, it was a good holiday, great holiday, and I got laid a lot. Oh no, I've said that wrong. So I got lays a lot. They're those foreign walkers crisps. Point out for my shape. I shouldn't have to point out, having sex and a packet of lays are 2 very different things, and sometimes a packet of lays can take me over 5 minutes. Although both can leave a salty taste in the mouth. And both can leave me having to hide the evidence from my wife. But no, seriously, it was a great holiday, and it reminded me of the first one I went on with my wife many years ago. That took us to a beautiful beach resort, and the first day the sun was shining, and we headed down the beach, and she started to sunbathe, and she turned to me and said, "Jay, can you walk down the beach and see if any women are topless bathing?" Now, coincidentally, I was about to go and do that anyway. And to go to do it with her blessing, I took it as a sign that she could be the one. Now, I was going to say, yes, if you're wondering, sadly, there were no topless bathers on that occasion in Weston-super-Mare. Now, on that note, I will have to say that I am, and have been since the start, 100% Jay Somer. Thank you, enjoy the rest of it.